Hello everyone, it's Matt and welcome back for another pepper review. I'm out here in some hot weather again, so the air conditioner is running. Apologize if the noise is there, but regardless, I've got a pepper review for us today, and this is the Lillyput. I got the pepper here from Chris over at the Grumpy Gill, and sent me a small box of pods, and they've been great so far. I appreciate so much Chris sending these to me. So this is the Lillyput. It is some kind of, as far as I know, some kind of cross that has blue ghost genetics in it. And the blue ghost, there's a blue ghost peach variety that's out there. It's a smaller pepper. It's not as squat as this pepper is. So this is kind of short and stout. Here is its handle. Anyway, so this is kind of a squat pepper, whereas the peach ghost is a little more thinned out, and I think a little bit longer usually. Not that they're a big pepper. They're usually, at least the ones I've seen, are pretty small. But this guy, I don't know what the cross exactly is, but it's called the Lillyput. So I think it's kind of an unknown cross, but it has blue ghost genetics in it. So I love the coloring though, and just that purple blushing that it has. It's kind of a peach pod with purple blushing, and some of these peppers that get crossed are just really cool. And so we're going to cut it open and see how it is inside. Again, I know this is probably that was an interesting smell. I'm going to explain that in just a moment, because I wanted to smell the inside here. There's the Lillyput. It's a big pith that it has. So if you cut open like a green bell pepper, and there's that white, the white insides of it called the pith or the placenta, that's a really neat looking pepper on the inside. So when I smelled my knife, it's still there. It smells fishy. But then I smell the pepper. There's like it's weird. I've never smelled that. It's like a very slight sushi smell to it. But it's not off-putting. And it has that Chinense flavor in it. Man, it looks really great. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Again, it's not an off-putting smell. I just have never smelled that from a pepper. I'm just going to do a quick investigation to make sure it's seriously not off-putting at all. Of course, this is coming from somebody who loves eating sushi. Man, if this has some kind of like sushi notes to it, I love sushi. And all right, let's get into it. Lillyput from Chris over at the Grumpy Gill. Got a train coming by now. AC on this side, train on that side. I've never had a pod with that flavor. Not off-putting at all. And now the dog's barking. Once I hit record, whatever happens, happens, I guess, What a unique pepper. So so this pepper was very, I hate to use, I don't know what the right word is, mild. Not like heat level, just the flavor was very muted. Nothing really stands out as far as like, a lot of pods have like strong floral, strong bitter, strong fruity notes. Some pods have what I call firecracker. You know, when you smell the sulfur of a firecracker or whatever that smell is of when you light off a firecracker. Like when I eat a serrano, sometimes a jalapeno pepper, I get like that taste of what a firecracker smells like. Pepper forward. So this pod is kind of had very muted tones to it. It honestly had kind of a umami, I hate to use the word fishy because that sounds bad, like sushi flavor to it, which is amazing to me because I love sushi. I would love to put that in a sushi roll, like dice it up. Oh my goodness. That is unique. I have never had a pod like that. As far as heat wise, I'm up to like a 2, all tongue burn. And I've been enjoying some crazy hot peppers here the last 2 weeks or so. So like my current heat level, I'm at like a 2. Just like my mouth is salivating a little bit. Wow. What a unique pod. I've had the Blue Ghost pecan, or I'm sorry, Blue Ghost peach it's called. So when I got seeds a couple years ago for the Blue Ghost peach, I read the label as Blue Ghost pecan. And so I always called it that. And then one time I looked it up. Actually, it was last season. I got some pods from a grower locally here, and he had some Blue Ghost peach pods that I tried, and they were super bitter. Oh man. Sometimes I've found ghost peppers to be really bitter, and I don't really, that's one flavor. If there's no other flavors to a pepper but bitter, that's the one thing I can't handle. Or I can handle it, but it's not pleasant. But anyway, he sent me, he gave me some pods, and yeah, they were bitter, but he labeled them Blue Ghost peach. And then I was like, wait a minute, I thought they were Blue Ghost pecan. So then I Googled and, did all the research I could on it. And sure enough, Blue Ghost peach. I'm like, oh, I just read it wrong, which I thought, that's a cool name, right? Blue Ghost pecan. I thought that was kind of a cool name for a pod. But anyway, no idea where the Lillyput got its name, but it was a great pepper. Umami. It tasted like a pepper, right? If you're eating a pepper, but it had like some unique notes to it that I've never had from a pod before. And wow, super good. Interested to see if I ever get a pod. Excuse me. Wow. With those kind of notes, because man, that would be a great one to grow if it had some consistency to that, specifically just for sushi. Like that would be amazing. But so I wanted to share a verse this today. Right now it's early afternoon, but wherever it is, whatever time it is for you guys watching this, and I want to talk about anger. Been doing a series on the tongue from Proverbs, and there's so much that could be said that I didn't say, and so much to learn just applying it to my life. But sometimes that tongue and anger go hand in hand together. But there's individual lessons that we can learn, and so I'm going to spend some time looking at that topic. And so the verse I found for today is Proverbs 16 verse 32. Proverbs 16 verse 32. And it says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that takes a city. Think of somebody, especially if you go back in history, who conquers a city, right? And they're the hero. There's examples of that even from scripture, but also just history, right? The praise, the accolades, the the things that people give to a person for conquering a city. Like it takes a lot of might, it takes a lot of effort. It shows, hey, I'm more dominant than you are, right? And you think, man, what a mighty person to do that, right? Well, this proverb tells us that same praise, accolades, and really the power and strength that it takes to take a city should be and could be applied to the person who is slow to anger. They don't have a quick fuse. I talked about fireworks. Wasn't planning to do this, but a little tie-in here. Fireworks, sometimes they have a shorter fuse, sometimes a longer fuse, and the big booms, they have professional fuses, right, that can hit at the exact time that they want to, and electronically controlled, and have a long fuse. And boy, it takes self-control, and for the Christian, it takes spirit control to have a longer fuse, right, and to not blow the lid, but to be slow to anger. And it says here, they're better than the mighty. They're better than the strength of a man. You think of the physical prowess of somebody who can do some amazing feats. I used to be into powerlifting a bit several years ago. Not there anymore. Would love to get back into it, but just a season of life and everything, time and everything. But anyway, I used to watch, these power lifters and seriously lifting like massive amounts of weight. And you're like, wow, how could he do that? How could he complete that feat? And again, that praise, the accolade that goes into it. If you watch the Olympics, or just, Google and watch, or get on YouTube and watch some of these guys that do some amazing feats, like, that's amazing, the might they have. But it's just as mighty, if not more so, to control our life and to be slow to anger, and to not be quick to jump to rash conclusions, or even if our conclusions are right, to give grace and show mercy and be compassionate. And it's something I need to work on, and hopefully it's an encouragement to you to be careful about that, and to have a longer fuse, right? Not be so quick to blow the lid. So anyway, wanted to share that with you, and we'll talk some more about anger from the Proverbs and what God's Word has to tell us about that. So thank you, Chris, again for this amazing pepper. I didn't save any seeds or anything, so maybe I might reach out to Chris, see if he has any. And Chris, if you're watching this, I'd love to hear if you've had similar experience to the taste I got there. Actually, I will link, or maybe I'll put in the description. Chris did a review of the pepper. I watched it a while back now, and just remember that it had Blue Ghost cross in it. But otherwise, I don't know anything about the pepper, so I'll link that. Maybe he has some information there for you in his video as well. But I'm going to end it here. Mild pepper got me up to about 2 muted flavors, but had some nice umami kind of depth to it, and would be great to use in recipes for fish, I think, and like sushi. Man, if you could dehydrate that into, and then grind it into a powder, sprinkle that on your sushi, holy cow, that would just kick it up with some heat and then some nice umami flavor. So wonderful pepper. Thank you, Chris, and thank you for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much, and thanks for coming in to hang out with me. And we'll have some more peppers coming up. I've got a box coming from Mr. Clayton Hollingsworth, and looking forward to that. We'll do some reviews in the future here with some amazing peppers, and I still have a ton of varieties in my garden that I have not even touched yet. So we'll have some peppers to review going forward. So looking forward to the season. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, we will catch you then. God bless.